Visit the Gold with first place in the West on the line. Bobby Hebert directs the offense of the division-leading Invaders. The Cajun Cannon will be looking to add to his Oakland team record 22 touchdown tosses. Derek Holloway is just one of 3 excellent Oakland receivers Hebert looks for and more often than not finds. Bobby's favorite for the home run ball is number 1 Anthony Carter. In 1983, the Hebert-Carter combination helped Michigan to the first USFL championship. Ever steady Gordon Banks rounds out Oakland's terrific trio of pass catchers. The mile-high pyrotechnics of the run-and-shoot Gold are ignited by quarterback Bob Galliano. Since Galliano replaced Vince Evans 5 games ago, the Gold has won 4 and lost 1 and sit just a half game behind the Invaders. While Mark Lewis has made many key receptions, Leonard Harris is the number 1 receiver for the Gold. The Automan has pulled in 69 aerials for nearly 900 yards, and Harris has scored 10 times. When he's in trouble, Galliano often calls on number 44, Vincent White, to pull him out of the fire. So, here tonight at Mile High Stadium in Denver, the Gold continues its thirst for first in the West against the conference-leading Oakland Invaders, who have reeled off 5 straight victories. Tonight at Mile High Stadium, the Invaders hope to improve their lead in the West. The Gold look to leapfrog into that top spot. Hi, everybody. Fred Manfro along with Marv Levy from the beautiful city of Denver tonight. Marv, back on February 24th in the East Bay at Oakland, these two teams met. Oakland dominated that football game on the scoreboard, on the field. However, differences for both teams in tonight's play.
Absolutely, Fred. Oakland somewhat better, but Denver vastly improved. They were a weak defensive team then. They are probably the best defensive team in the league right now. Bob Galliano, inserted at quarterback, has won 4 out of 5 starts, and he's really made a difference in making that run and shoot hum.
Both offenses, Oakland and Denver, big play offenses. Both play defenses, very good and big play defenses.
Very good big play. They are 1 and 2 in the league in sacking the opponent's quarterback. They are 2 and 3 in the league in total defense. To make the big play work, and they both have a sizzling core of receivers, they've got to protect the passer against some heavy pass rush.
Just 4 days ago, Sunday here at Mile High Stadium, Bill Johnson rushed for 98 yards to go over the 1,000-yard mark. He scored 3 touchdowns, and he made the world and the rest of the USFL know there's a number 34 other than Herschel Walker in the United States Football League.
Well, when you say run and shoot, Fred, you say run first. Whenever Denver has won, they have done it with the run, and it has been Bill Johnson who has done it. He takes quite a beating, but he is the focal man in their offense.
Well, for the first time in nearly a week, just about a perfect day here in the Mile High City, as you see. Conditions great for this important matchup in the West tonight. Charlie Sumner, the coach of the Oakland Invaders, in his first season as a pro head coach, of course, 21 years as an assistant in the National Football League. Across the field from Charlie will be the man who has popularized the run-and-shoot offense, the Mouse, Darrell Mouse Davis. Now, Coach Marv Levy, you gave us what these teams must do in order to win tonight's football game. And as we look at them, explain what you're talking about.
Well, for both teams, Fred, they have 2 similar objectives. Both must protect the passer because the other team is so good at rushing the passer. Both must stop the big play because there's such a great core of receivers on their opposing team. Denver has to have an effective running game against the number 1 rushing defense in the league. Oakland must win the kicking game. They are superior in that area, and they have to make it stand up.
Well, the Oakland Invaders will be kicking off. Novo Bojovic will do the kicking duties. Novo coming over with the amalgamation of the Michigan and Oakland franchises. Deep for the Oakland Invaders, we have Lonnie Harris, number 81. You see, he has a great kickoff return average, and he has busted a big one this year. And also back deep, number 42, Nate Harris, is also there, as is Brad Caleb. So we have 3 members of the Denver Gold awaiting this Novo Bojovic kickoff on a beautiful afternoon, I guess late afternoon here in Denver. Bojovic approaches the ball. He really lays it deep. watching it out of the end zone and finally making the catch, but out of the end zone was Lonnie Harris. So the ball will go to the Denver Gold, the homestanding Gold, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And of course, Bob Galliano, the man with the beard, putting a helmet on, will be directing the attack. Setting the offense for you tonight for the Denver Gold. As we look down the line for you, we have wide receiver Lonnie Turner. The left tackle is Ray Wagner. George Yarno is the left guard. Tom Davis, the veteran center. Mike Neese, the right guard. Matt Miller, the right tackle. Vincent White is the slot back. Wide receiver is Mark Lewis. Galliano is the quarterback. Leonard Harris, also a receiving back. And Bill Johnson is the running back. And Johnson is the man standing deep in the backfield at the moment, number 34. Galliano to throw. First off. Downfield, pass complete at the 49-yard line. The reception made by Mark Lewis. Lewis, a former member of the Oakland Invaders, had to leave that squad when the merge came with the Michigan Panthers. As we set the Invaders defense for you, Monty Bennett is at left end. The nose tackle tonight is Reuben Vaughn getting a start. The right end, Dave Browning. Outside linebacker, Ed Smith. Inside linebackers, Gary Plummer and Ray Bentley. The other outside linebacker is David Shaw. Left cornerback, Vito McKeever. The right cornerback, Derek Martin. The strong safety, David Greenwood. And John Sullivan is the free safety. First down for the Denver Gold from their own 49-yard line. Johnson gets the ball, but a flag is thrown 1 yard for Bill Johnson. And Johnson is playing tonight despite an injury.
Well, he has a groin injury, Fred. They were very worried about it. He was questionable coming in. Let's hear this penalty.
Illegal motion, number 89 on the offense.
So the call was against Troy Johnson of the Denver Gold, number 89. The official tonight is Don Wilson. So Oakland declines the penalty here. It'll be 2nd and 12 with a couple-yard loss by Bill Johnson. Johnson from Arkansas State did not play there his senior year at Arkansas State. Had a difference with the coaching staff and wound up working as a bouncer in his dad's bar up in Poughkeepsie, New York. Galliano, as you see, having a fine season for Mouse Davis in the goal. In motion is Leonard Automan Harris. Galliano to throw. He has pressure over the middle. A pass complete to Harris. Close to a first down. Should be a first down for the Denver Gold. The stop made by David Greenwood, the strong safety, and John Sullivan, the free safety.
They were blitzing on this play out of a nickel defense. You see number 51, Gary Plummer, coming, getting close, but Galliano's able to deliver it. It means man-to-man coverage on the play, and the auto man, Leonard Harris, is pretty tough to stay with, particularly when you're covering with a free safety, John Sullivan. Almost an impossible task if they don't get to the quarterback.
Those figures down there, the best on the Denver Gold this season. The number 1 receiver is Leonard Automan Harris. 1st and 10 for the Gold. They're in Oakland territory now at the 40-yard line. In motion to the near side comes White. Galliano back to Johnson. He has a lane outside, but it's closed off quickly at the 35-yard line by the strong safety, David Greenwood.
On the last 2 downs, Oakland has been in a 4-man line, apparently trying to get pressure on anticipated passes. Their base defense is a 3-man, but they will use the 4 a lot tonight, Fred.
So it's 2nd down and 5 to go for the Denver Gold. Looking to get on the board here early in this football game. 12:25 to play in the first quarter. Sunday afternoon here for the New Jersey Generals. Over 29,000 showed up for the ball game. Tonight they're expecting about 15,000. Again, Johnson's lone setback behind Bob Galliano. See overloaded receivers on that far side. 3 of them out there. Galliano on the 2nd and 5. Lofts downfield. The pass will be incomplete. Thrown out of bounds, intended for Mark Lewis. Vito McKeever was covering. See Mouse Davis yelling out on the field. Mouse gets a little wrapped up in the ball game, as do most head coaches.
Well, they all do. That's right. Mouse, of course, you can see is very vocal. He has a unique method of calling plays. He just shouts the play in that he wants.
Why not?
I think he was a little bit concerned there. Oakland had blitzed. They were double covering only 1 receiver, and that's the man that Bob Galliano went to. Everybody else was single covered. I think Mouse was upset by it.
3rd and 5 now, Marv, for the Denver Gold at the 35-yard line of the Oakland Invaders. No score in the ball game. Splitting wide to the top of to the left side will be number 82, Lonnie Turner. In motion to the near side comes Vincent White. Galliano rolling to the near side. Downfield off the fingertips of Vincent White. Incomplete. David Greenwood, John Sullivan defending. 4th down now. And Jim Asmus will be into the football game for the Denver Gold. Asmus, when we were here last time, was doing the field goal kicking, and Brian Spielman was doing the punting. Spielman has since departed, and Asmus is doing both the punting and the field goal kicking.
I think that's a very difficult chore, and kickers' skills tend to erode when they're asked to do both. It happened to Spielman. Let's see what happens to Asmus as this late season continues.
It's going to be a 52-yard try. Remember, Asmus in the first season of the USFL has booted one 57 yards. Plummer jumped running onto the field last minute for Oakland. The snap is back. The kick is going to be no good. It corkscrewed wide to the left side. Asmus really didn't get the good foot in the ball. It had the distance, but corkscrewed wide left. And there's still no score in the ball game. 11:53 to play. No score in the football game from Denver. That's what the Gold's trying to do, become #1 in the West tonight as they're hosting the Oakland Invaders. There's a young lady who's high on the list. The Oakland Invaders with the football for the first time this evening. Of course, Bobby Hebert is their quarterback out of Northwest Louisiana. Hebert 2 seasons with the Michigan Panthers, now with the Oakland Invaders. Some great stats for Hebert in his career. Carter splitting out of your screen. Of course, we have Banks and Holloway. Top of your screen, Holloway the slot. Pass comes out to #1, Anthony Carter. As he so often does, eludes the initial tackle. Jeff Delaney tried to get him, and then Anthony just circled around, went down, almost has a first down. It's at the 45-yard line, and they do give Anthony Carter a first down on the very first play.
Actually, that was an audible. They were faking a blitz with everybody, but playing way off of Anthony Carter, so Hebert wisely audibleized to him on a stop pattern, hit him, picked up a first down on the first play.
Of course, this field here was a very good one for both Bobby Hebert and Anthony Carter back in 1983 when they won the USFL title, the very first USFL title game for 50,000 here at Mile High Stadium. Hebert to go airward again. Lobs it downfield. The pass caught. Gordon Banks is going to go for a touchdown. Gordon Banks has now caught a pass in 49 straight Invader games. Every game the Invaders have played, and he now has 5 touchdown receptions this season.
Hebert's going to go all the way to Banks. He has him one-on-one. It shows from the snap against Lance Shields. There's a speed mismatch there. Gordon Banks is a 20.4 200-yard dash man. He's too fast for Lance Shields. If you don't get to Hebert, that's what's going to happen, the big play.
Gordon Banks receiving the accolades from his teammates and the Oakland Invaders, as we talked about, a big play offense, and they struck just like that. Novo Bojovic will be attempting the PAT. Novo has been like Mr. Automatic. That's 23 straight PATs for Novo Bojovic, and the Oakland Invaders have a 7-0 lead. 10:34 to play in the first quarter here at Mile High Stadium. Now the Gold will try to get back in this football game as they trail by 7. Bojovic, the young Yugoslavian who now lives in Michigan, kicks it high. Ronnie Harris takes it a couple yards deep in the end zone. Harris who can go at 15, outside at the 20. Harris will be run out of bounds at the 27-yard line. And boy, was he pushed, and he went sliding in the cinder along the track. Fans here not liking the push given by Vito McKeever and expressing themselves with the boos.
Wes Howell, the contained man on the left side, lost containment, number 80, and Harris is able to get out. They call for a boo, but that contact was made definitely inbounds. He just flew a long distance, and there was no penalty called for there.
So Bob Galliano again will try to get things going for the run and shoot. The ball at the 28-yard line of Denver. 1st and 10 for the Gold. Tough operating position here from the skin part of the infield. In motion is Leonard Harris to the top of your screen. Galliano looks downfield, fires incomplete, in and out of the hands of Vincent White. Oliver Davis defending. As you see, the Oakland Invaders with the big pop, it went from Hebert to Gordon Banks.
You know, Fred, if they continue to play that 11-man up defense, which means they're going to blitz a lot, and it's been their stock and trade, Denver's stock and trade, they're going to really have some mismatches because Lance Shields can't run with Banks, and I don't believe that anybody can run with Carter either.
Second down and 10 for the Denver Gold from their own 28. 10-18 to play in the first quarter here at Mile High Stadium. Beautiful day, beautiful evening here in the beautiful city of Denver. You use those adjectives, but they all apply. In motion again is Leonard Harris. Galliano, short drop, throws downfield. White has it this time. Oliver Davis again defending. Going to be shy of the first down by about a half a yard or so. So it'll be 3rd and 1 for the Denver Gold.
Here we get a look at the wide secondary, the entire secondary, I should say, of Oakland. You see a double up on the wide, or single all the way over there with a free safety. Galliano is throwing on very good rhythm. They are rushing him well. They're getting close, but the run and shoot offense is designed to be thrown by the quarterback, neither the 5th step or the 7th step, and Bob is throwing it right on time, which is why Mouse went to him. He feels he reads quickly and delivers quickly.
3rd and short yardage here. Alone back in the backfield behind quarterback Galliano is Johnson. And Bill Johnson has the first down as he's tripped up at the 40-yard line by Ray Bentley, the fine linebacker for the Oakland Invaders. Bentley, the 3-year pro from Central Michigan. So
he's going to be a key man in stopping Johnson. Bentley is one of the best linebackers in the league, if not the best, against the run inside.
9:05 to play first quarter. 7-0. Oakland leading. A long pass from Bobby Hebert, their quarterback, to Gordon Banks, putting the points on the board. There's Bill Johnson. Second leading rusher in the United States Football League is number 34. In motion to the near side, Vincent White. Galliano, short drop again. Plenty of time downfield. Open out there is Harris. And it's intercepted. The ball picked up by Vito McKeever. McKeever up to the 40, to the 42-yard line. Vito McKeever with his 4th interception of the season. And the ball goes over to the Oakland Invaders. Something that the Denver Gold cannot afford to do tonight. Chuck up that football.
This is a design throwback pass. Galliano's been sprinting out and throwing to the onside. Here he starts a sprint. Figures he's going to get man-to-man coverage on the backside, but he doesn't. It's a zone. McKeever times it perfectly. And these Oakland corners, to my mind, are the best duo in the league. There's a good young group at Memphis, but this duo performs.
Oakland 7-0 over Denver here, and of course a good football game coming up as Memphis looks for its 5th straight win with Mike Kelly at quarterback. 1st and 10 for the Oakland Invaders. 8:17 to play in the first quarter. They have the lead. That's Holloway in motion to the top of your screen. Fake handoff, lob out to Carter. The man with a quick feet along the near side with a first down into Denver territory, pounded out of bounds at the 38-yard line by free safety Steve Trimble. Mr. Action Central, A.C. Anthony Carter, the former All-America in Michigan, all USFLer for the Michigan Panthers, just picks up and continues on with the Oakland Invaders.
You know, Fred, there's all kinds of screen passes in today's sophisticated passing game, and that was a screen to the wide receiver. They're playing so far off of him because they fear him. He took a step upfield, came back, caught the ball. His linemen were in front of him. Big game.
1st and 10 for Oakland from the 38 of Denver. In motion is Mike Schumann. Again, Hebert to the go to the air. Bobby fires it all by himself. Gordon Banks. And then Banks is triple teamed down at the 22-yard line. Darrell Hemphill, the strong safety, one of the leading tacklers on there. Another first down for the Oakland Invaders. And here's how they got it.
You think Shields was afraid of being beat deep again? He's 15 yards off of Banks on this play. Banks started to drive downfield, stop, was able to hook up. You still don't see a defender back in the picture. Finally, Darrell Hemphill, number 25, reaches him first. But you hit a bomb early, and a corner, particularly if he's not as fast as the receiver he's facing, is going to be way off of him.
Left cornerback Lance Shields obtained 23 days ago from the Arizona Outlaws along with Mark Bubin.
Quite a trade. Maybe we can talk about that in a moment.
1st and 10 for the Oakland Invaders. 22-yard line of the Denver Gold. That's Holloway going to the top of your screen. Fumble picked up by Hebert, and he makes a gain out of what could have been a mishap for the Invaders. He's down to the 16-yard line. Darrell Hemphill again on the tackle for the Denver Gold.
Actually, the exchange is fumble. Hebert sort of looking around. As he does, his hands move. The ball slips through. Fortunately, his backs were moving forward. Bentley to get a block on the man who had the best chance to get him, and he's able to pick up pretty darn good yardage for a broken play.
6 yards. He'll take that on a first down when you have everything going the way you want it to go.
Absolutely.
John Williams in motion. And then again, Bobby Hebert with the football. John Nevins, and there's an active linebacker for you on the tackle.
Here we see that exchange problem again between Leonard and Hebert. You can't quite tell. It keeps hitting to the left of where he wants to go. It didn't look like he was pivoting out too soon. He looks over to the bench and says, I don't know what's happening.
Well, that time they lost about a yard on the play, back at the 17-yard line. 3rd down and 5 now for the Invaders. There's the center, Leonard. Jim Leonard, the 6-year pro from Santa Clara. Crouching down, Bobby Hebert, 3 years out of Northwest Louisiana. Deep drop, Hebert lets it go. The pass complete, and into the end zone for a touchdown to Albert Bentley. Bentley's 3rd touchdown reception of the season. Steve Trimble beaten there by Albert Bentley.
That was a beautiful read. Actually, Nate Miller, the corner, was right on Carter. The safety, Hempel, came over to give him double coverage. It opened up the middle completely. Trimble tried to get back to help. It was a too-deep zone, but the zone was split down the middle. It takes a great read by the quarterback, and he read it.
So Albert Bentley with touchdown number 3 through the air for the young man who played his college football at Miami of Florida. Novo Boyovich will come in to attempt the PAT, and that's the 14th point of the evening for the Oakland Invaders with 5:41 to play in the first quarter. The Invaders out in front by 14 over the Denver Gold, 14-0 here at Mile High Stadium. 14-0. The Oakland Invaders lead the Denver Gold. Mouse Davis's Gold Sunday fell behind early against New Jersey as Flutie and Walker hooked up for a bomb, and they're fighting from behind tonight.
Well, they had a coverage mishap right on the first play of the game last week. Got hit for a 60-some yarder. Tonight they're being hit early. Denver's plan is to blitz a lot. They are blitzing, and they're left in a lot of one-on-one coverage, but they're sticking with their plan, and they feel it'll serve them well.
Boyovich booting again. Harris will watch the ball curl, and the ball is taken by Brad Caleb in that far corner of the end zone. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. So Novo Boyovich is doing exactly what you want him to do, is kick it high and deep and prevent the big returns by the likes of Lonnie Harris, Brad Caleb, and Lonnie Turner.
He's had 3 great kickoffs, and there's not much wind. There is that rarefied atmosphere here, which helps. He's also added his 23rd and 24th consecutive PAT so far tonight.
Of course, when you talk about special teams, I notice a smile comes to your face, Coach Levy.
Well, I believe so strongly in them, and a special teams play, a kicking team play, is more heavily weighted than a play from scrimmage, and maybe that's something we can discuss, Fred.
Galliano fighting from a 14-point deficit with 5:36 to play in the first quarter. That was Harris again in motion. The fake to Johnson. Galliano airing it out downfield and open as Lewis overthrown. Overthrown at the 40-yard line. Running stride for stride with Mark Lewis was David Greenwood and Vito McKeever. So Mark Lewis, the 3-year pro from Missouri Western, was out there, but he couldn't hook up with Bob Galliano, who played his college football, or I should say concluded his college career at Utah State. Galliano also played at Glendale Junior College in California and U.S. International University, and then wound up at Utah State.
Fred, they did something, Denver, that they seldom do. They had a play-action pass. They faked a run and went deep. Usually, they have a pass-action run in this offense, which is different from almost any other.
2nd and 10 for Denver from their own 20. Coming in motion to the near side is Gil Stiegel this time. Galliano again to put it in the air. Rifles the ball downfield. A completion to Leonard Harris. Beaten David Greenwood. First down for the Denver Gold at the 37-yard line.
There was good blitz pickup on this. Galliano sprinting out. You see the fullback, number 34, right in the right of your screen, picking up a blitz by an outside linebacker, giving Galliano plenty of time to find the men single covered, and he hits the Ottoman right there perfectly. Here's Angelo Snipes, number 59 in white, who's done a great job of blitzing recently. Mike Neese, the right guard, had no one on him, came out and picked him up.
Ball is marked at the 39-yard line of Denver. Right in the skin part of the infield, right where the second baseman would stand if the Denver Zephyrs were playing their baseball game here tonight. Harris in motion. Hand off to Johnson. Johnson is met at the line of scrimmage by Reuben Vaughn, the nose tackle. Vaughn, the 6'1", 261-pounder, played his college football up the road a piece at Colorado.
So far, they've shut Johnson down pretty well, but great back like him, they got to keep giving it to him and not go away from keep trying to strike a balance in their offense. Bill
Johnson, who has over 1,000 yards on the season, picked up just 2 that time at the 41-yard line of Denver. The Gold trailing 14-0, 4:04 to play in the first quarter. 2nd and 8. Stiegel in motion, bottom of your screen. Incomplete, intended for Stiegel, underthrown. So it'll be 3rd down and 8 for Denver, still at their 41-yard line. Galliano upset with himself that he missed the 5'9", 170-pound rookie Gil Stiegel, who played college football at Harding.
Ooh, Harding College. I don't know of any other players in professional football from Harding. Perhaps there are, but I don't know who they are. Bob did not throw a good pass on that. Stiegel was breaking diagonally to the outside, a flag route. That's a very difficult ball to throw, and he was off the mark.
3rd down and long yardage for the Denver Gold. Stiegel in motion once again. Short drop by Galliano. Fires it downfield. Intercepted, the 2nd of the night. It's picked off by Derek Martin. Martin to the 35, to the 40, and at the 42-yard line he is stopped. Derek Martin was really pummeled at the 42-yard line by George Yarno, the left guard, offensively for the Denver Gold. Let's watch the 2nd interception of the night by the Denver Gold as Martin picks up interception number 5 for the season.
They're trying to go deep a great deal. Look at the linebacker dropping back to get inside coverage on the intended receiver, so they're really double covered. It was Snipes and Derek Martin. He had a man singled short, but they're trying to work deep so much that they're getting themselves in trouble, and those 2 corners, Martin and McKeever, are the wrong guys to really pick on deep very often.
1st and 10 for Oakland from their own 41-yard line. 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Charlie Sumner, the coach of the Oakland Invaders, pacing up and down. Bobby Hebert will watch Derek Holloway cut behind him. Whistles all over the place as the handoff goes to Albert Bentley. The flag's down.
Start. Number 64 on the offense. Still 1st down.
That's right guard Tracy Franz. The Oakland Invaders. As you see, the Oakland Invaders having a lot of penalty flags tossed against them this season. Well, and surprisingly, they win football games.
Yes, they do. And to accentuate that statistic, Oakland is the 2nd most penalized team. You know who the 1st most is? I believe you do, Fred.
Could it be Denver?
It's Denver, and they've been winning games, too.
Well, you see the Oakland Invaders lead 14-0 here, and if that graphic holds up, the Invaders will maintain their lead in the West. Holloway in motion to the bottom of your screen. Pitch to Albert Bentley with blockers in front of him. Bentley cuts back. Bentley to the 41-yard line. Back to the original line of scrimmage, and he is stopped there.
Albert Bentley, the ball carrier, number 32.
Nate Miller, the right cornerback, among the many tacklers for the Denver Gold.
They feel they have to start running that ball some. It's just a pitch, play, going to the weak side, pitching to the fullback. He puts a fine move on Steve Trimble as free safety, number 47 there. See him cut inside of Trimble, pick up good yardage on the play. Good move for a fullback.
2nd and 10 now for Oakland from their own 41-yard line. Holloway will move to the top of your screen. That's Holloway with a reception shy of the 1st down by 6 yards as Jeff Delaney is right there to pull down the speedy Derek Holloway. Delaney, a 7-year pro from the University of Pittsburgh, attending dental school at Pitt.
The Invaders are doing something very sound with a 1st and 20. They're trying to get it a little bit at a time. They wound up 3rd and 5. That isn't great, but it sure isn't bad when you started 1st and 20. Hebert is doing a fine job of reading which receiver is being singled, and they're doing a good job of picking up the blitz.
3rd and 5. Splitting to the top of your screen, Banks. Bottom of your screen, now out of your picture, is Anthony Carter. Hebert on the 3rd down and 5, going long, incomplete. John Williams was out there, but the ball was overthrown as Nate Miller has gone stride for stride with Williams. It'll be a 4th down. First punt of the night for Stan Talley, who last season set the United States Football League record for the longest punt right here at Mile High Stadium. He rocketed one 89 yards here in this light air.
That's good in any kind of air.
Zulani Harris back for the Denver Gold. Talley, the top punter of the United States Football League, will be getting the ball away from his own 35. Gets a good snap. Talley approaches the ball. Not a very good spiral kick, but it gets down into the 12-yard line, and Mr. Harris is hit but bounds out on the 35. Harris with the big play to the 50 into Oakland territory at the 45-yard line. Harris looked like he was going to be stopped at the 12-yard line and then kept going.
The most dangerous part of a punt return is that first 3 yards. Don't let a great punt returner get away from that. Turner does a great job. He's brought in to replace David Martin. An outstanding run, but I'll tell you, number 59, Angelo Snipes, saved them a touchdown. He pursued from way across the field. He has great speed, caused the fumble. Unfortunately for his team, they didn't recover.
1st and 10 for the Denver Gold. From the 40-yard line for the first time tonight, the crowd here comes to life at Mile High Stadium. Harris again in motion. The Gold trailing 14-0. Galliano with time, throws it over the middle, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Gil Stiegel. Stiegel, who had 3 catches for 23 yards against the Generals, just could not hang on to the pass.
Well, everything's going wrong for him, for the Gold tonight. They got the Midas touch. Everything they touch turns to mufflers tonight. And Bob reads him. He's wide open. In fact, no one's covering him at all.
So you need work on your car. That's why you mentioned Midas. Is that what it is? Trying to get these plugs in.
All right. Freebie, huh?
That's right.
Mouse is holding his head there a little bit. The headache.
2nd and 10 for Denver from the 40-yard line of the Oakland Invaders. As you see, Galliano not having an outstanding night. Bill Johnson eludes a tackler, still going, and Johnson has such great desire and drive. He moves it to the 36-yard line, a gain of about 4 for the big guy from Arkansas State. Johnson, 6'1", 220 pounds, tackled down there by David Greenwood for the Oakland Invaders. The Invaders lead this football game 14-0. We have about 33 seconds to go in the first quarter. David Greenwood, a Badger out of Wisconsin, one of 11 children. That's how he got rough and tough fighting for dinner at night.
That's how he learned to high jump 7'2" plus 2, I guess. I don't know what that has to do with it. They've just brought Todd Gerhardt in, by the way, for Johnson. Maybe he's shaken up.
We mentioned Johnson with a groin injury, and Mouse Davis told us Gerhardt would see some action. 3rd and 6. With the time running out in the quarter. Downfield, the pass complete to Leonard Harris. First down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. John Sullivan making the tackle at the gun, ending the first quarter here at Mile High Stadium. We watch the 5'8", 185-pound Harris all by himself as he catches the bullet from Bob Galliano.
You know the mismatch here. Harris was in motion. A safety has to cover him. Number 41, John Sullivan, is afraid of him going deep. Harris breaks it off. Galliano needed a lot of time for that. He got it, but it's going to be tough if he has to cover Automan all night.
First quarter over here at Mile High. Oakland 14, Denver nothing. Well, the Invaders have come here to the Mile High City to take the 14-0 lead as we just get underway here in the second quarter. However, the Denver Gold in great field position. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line of the Invaders. Bill Johnson back into the ball game. The deep back behind quarterback Galliano. Watch that number 34 in motion. Top of your screen, Gil Stiegel. Here comes Johnson with a pitch to the 10. Johnson still on his feet, out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Spun around by Doug Holly and David Greenwood, but Johnson's momentum carried him down to the 6-yard line.
It's an option play. Bob Galliano, the quarterback, moving down the line, has the option to keep it or pitch it as he does here to Johnson. David Greenwood comes in with good form tackle, but he can't hang on to him. Johnson spins around and makes that first down. Doug Holly finally has to throw him to the ground.
Second down for the Denver Gold. 3 to go at the 7-yard line of the Oakland Invaders.
Doug Holly throwing him to the ground there.
Johnson out, Gerhardt in for the Denver Gold. Todd Gerhardt, the rookie from Cal State Fullerton, used primarily as a blocking back for the Titans. Yes, Gerhardt gets the football, going to the end zone, touchdown, Denver Gold. Todd Gerhardt with his second touchdown run of the season to put the Gold on the scoreboard for the first time this evening. 14-6 the lead for the Oakland Invaders.
This is their trap play. Watch the left guard, number 66, Yarno pull. He traps the defensive end. Gerhardt finds that hole and heads straight for the goal line, brushing off Doug Holly and carrying into the end zone. The defender on the play. Fine run. Oliver Davis tried to make the tackle on the goal line, number 21, but couldn't stop him shy of the goal line.
Here's Asmus, the young man who kicked his college football at the University of Hawaii. And it's now a 7-point Oakland lead, 14-7, just underway here in the second quarter. The lone 7 points of the night so far for Denver, put on the board by rookie running back Todd Gerhardt.
Left guard, George Yarno, 66 pulls. He's going to trap the first man outside of Matt Miller's block. It should be a linebacker. The linebacker's not even there. He's covering a pass somewhere. So Gerhardt just has a cakewalk into the end zone.
So Jim Asmus, the soccer-style kicker, who was born in Holland but raised in Southern California, will kick off. He gets a nice high kick. Holloway at the 1-yard line. Fumble football picked up by the Gold. Still fighting for it down there. Still rolling loose. And who will come up with a football? It's going to be Oakland football. That ball was squirting around. It looked like the Denver Gold had initially recovered the fumble, and then all of a sudden the ball was squirting around. Who comes up? Was it Rich Dixon, number 55? We watched Sean Faulkner there.
Nevins, number 59. You see his hand, right hand, scrape it free. The ball is rolling free, bounding about. Squirts out of that mess. A lot of guys are going to say, gosh, I had it. A lot of guys are telling the coach on the sideline, you know, coach, I had it. I had it. There's 6 guys telling him that. And Mouse is saying, well, why didn't one of you get it?
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Invaders. The ball at their own 1-yard line.
Well, the kicking game has certainly gone to Denver's way. Lonnie Harris's punt return and then this great kickoff for them.
But Denver trails 14-7, 14-19 to play in the half. Hebert will throw out of his end zone. Going long. Carter out there. Incomplete. Defended by Nate Miller. Miller doing a great job against Anthony Carter. Gone stride for stride with a speedy Carter. And there's a flag down at the 2-yard line far across the field.
Offside. Number 60 on the defense. Still first down.
Well, that has to hurt. You have him at the 1-yard line. You have a good defensive play and then an offside against Mr. Thornton.
That really hurts because now you give him room, only 5 yards to a first down, a chance to move it out farther. Terrible penalty to have at that time. That is a good call on first down on your own 1-yard line. It is not a dangerous play. You have a chance to get a big gain on it, and you're probably, if you're going to run such a conservative play, you might gain a yard and a foot anyway.
1st and 5 now for Hebert and Oakland from their own 6. They lead by 7. Albert Bentley with the football. Gets a block. Comes up to the first down yardage, to the 15, to the 17, to the 18-yard line. Lance Shields making the tackle. We told you that Shields was newly acquired by the Denver Gold, and it was a surprising trade, sending a young man who is a pretty good cornerback to the Arizona Outlaws.
Well, David Martin went to the Outlaws. Shields and Mark Boobin, 2-for-1, came over. But Martin is a class corner, all USFL. 3 years in a row, he's led the league in punt returns. And so it's sort of surprising. They gave up some speed on that corner also.
First down for the Oakland Invaders. The ball resting at their 17-yard line. Double receivers top of your screen. Williams along with Bentley. Bentley with the football to the 20, to the 25. Bentley to the 30. Sprinting to the 45. Bentley to the 30-yard line. And the Denver Gold could not outrun Calvin Turner. There's an oddity. The speedy halfback could not outrun the 6'3", 270-pound right defensive end.
Well, carrying the ball does slow you some, and he had an angle on him. Here's the play. Again, the left guard, Jeff Wiska, pulls great block up in front, maintenance of blocks. Bentley has some very good close quarter moves. He's out in front. He doesn't look like a great speed merchant. Great effort by Turner to save the touchdown. Calvin Turner just catching him by the heels to pull him down there.
At the 31 of the Denver Gold, 1st and 10 for the Oakland Invaders. Trying to increase their 14-7 lead. Coming to the near side in motion is Holloway. They're looking. Pass complete to Holloway. A gain of about 9 at the 22-yard line. Mike McKibben, the right linebacker, tackling Derek Holloway.
You know, Fred, when they put Derek Holloway in the game, he's in there in place of the tight end. Doug Cozen, their tight end, has only caught 4 balls this year. He winds up going man-to-man against the other team's strong safety, and it's a very difficult chore if they happen to be in man-to-man, and Denver plays a lot of man-to-man.
We'll call it a 2nd down and 1 for Oakland at the 22-yard line of the Denver Gold. You see big number 45, Tom Newton, 6'1", 238-pounder in there. He's the big fullback for Charlie Sumner in the offense. The handoff, however, goes to Williams for the first down to the 15-yard line. John Williams getting the first down for the Oakland Invaders. Mike McKibben, the right linebacker, number 53, stopping John.
When they get in scoring territory, they've tended, or in short yardage, they've tended to bring in Tom Newton and John Williams. Joe Williams usually is in the game anyway, but that's their duo for short yardage, tough territory.
A couple coaches used to call those kind of guys their elephant backs, the big guys. They might not have the greatest speed, but boy, they can go straight ahead, go north and south.
Either can run and either can block, and that's the type you like. And they're usually fairly or good enough receivers.
10:34 to play in the half. First down. Here comes Tom Newton. Newton inside the 10, taking a couple of tacklers with him, along with Stan Blinka and Doug Mikolas, to the 7-yard line. Let's watch Tom Newton now, getting that ball inside the 10 as the Invaders move closer to the end zone.
Some of these big fellas aren't fast, but they are quick starters. And you can see them bounce off of tacklers there, how tough it is to bring them down. This type of back usually, too, is a non-fumbler. The whole package tends to go together.
2 yards to go for the first down for the Invaders from the 7 of the Denver Gold. Newton with the football again inside the 5. They have the first down. Mike McKibben and John Nevins, a couple of linebackers combining on the stop of Tom Newton. Newton had his best pro year last year with the Oakland Invaders. Looks like John Nevins is in a bit of pain down there as Newton gets up, walks back to the huddle, but Nevins is writhing in pain down at the 7-yard line.
This is a great play action down coming up, Fred. 3rd and just inches. A lot of yards so far. Denver's long punt return doesn't show there. That would make it a lot closer to equal.
3rd down and 1 at the 5. As you see, they just have to nose it over that 5-yard line. Newton with the football. Newton should have the first down, as Tom Kilkenny, who replaced the injured John Nevins, made the initial hit for the Denver Gold defense. Tom Newton got the call and got the first down for the Oakland Invaders.
Straight power play. You see Kilkenny meet him high with a great stick. This is Kilkenny's game, the short yardage, tough tackling game. He was a nose tackle at Temple, played inside linebacker a year ago for the Chicago Blitz where I was coaching. Fine players, tough, just doesn't have a lot of speed.
Goal to go for the Oakland Invaders. The ball at the 4-yard line of the Denver Gold. Oakland leading by 7, 14-7. We have 9:02 to play in the first half.
Both Kilkenny and Nevins are in the game now. I think they expect to run. You get a defense like that from 4 yards out, you got to be thinking play pass.
Out of the ball game, however, is Tom Newton. Back in, number 32, Albert Bentley. A little bit more speed. Bentley gets the football, has Williams out in front trying to block for him. Out of bounds at about the 1-yard line. Tom Kilkenny running him out. Well, they went with the speed for the sweep left side. They brought the ball at the 1.5-yard line. Still goal to go for the Oakland Invaders. Out of the ball game, number 32, Albert Bentley. Back into the ball game, the pile driving, number 45, Tom Newton. We see John Williams there, number 43, another guy who has good speed and good power from the running back slot. One of the few times tonight we'll see Doug Cozen, the tight end, on the wing on the right side. You see him down there. Now he's in motion to the left side. Hebert fires into the end zone. Touchdown. The pass complete to the Oakland Invaders, Steve White. White, who lined up on the right side, caught the touchdown pass, and he is the second tackle this season for the Invaders to catch a TD toss. Ray Penny has a catch for 7, and now Steve Wright picks it up.
Wright, number 70, comes in short yardage, blocks for a moment on the linebacker to make him think run, then slips off. Just a little dump pass. That's probably a great thrill. He's a backup offensive lineman. Penny plays the other end, and he scored this year also, as you've indicated.
20-7 now, the Oakland Invaders lead, and you see the smile on Steve Wright's face. He's going to be, I bet you they rag him all the way back to Oakland if this game goes to Oakland's favor tonight.
You can go over and give Carter some advice here in a little while.
Here comes Boyovich looking for his 25th consecutive PAT. The kick is up, and the kick is true, and the Oakland Invaders lead the football game thanks to that Wright touchdown reception. 21-7 with 8:43 to play in the half. 21-7. The Oakland Invaders have the margin here as Boyovich tees the football up. A line drive kick, but it drives Harris back into the end zone, and Harris will not come out with it. The ball will come to the 20-yard line, but the Denver Gold will have it 1st and 10. And Boyovich, as we pointed out earlier, doing the job on the kickoffs today.
3 out of 4 unreturnable kicks.
You see Noble is happy with his effort. Big smile from the young man.
He was telling everybody how he did it.
Boyovich, who played his college football at Central Michigan, congratulating Bobby Hebert. He's high after that kickoff.
And how? Well, he should be. That's what he's paid to do. He doesn't get many shots. Galliano's struggling a bit.
Less than 50% through the air tonight for Galliano, who normally throws at a 57% clip. That's Vincent White in motion. Galliano throws it out to White. White with a first down. Is hit out of bounds by David Greenwood and Vito McKeever, but a first down for the Denver Gold. Vincent White played his college football not far from the Bay Area down at Stanford.
Yeah, that completion goes in for a 15 or 18-yard gain or whatever it was exactly for Hebert, but it's a completed 2 yards behind the line when you got those quick receivers like that.
The ball at the 35-yard line of the Gold. Trailing in this football game by 14, 21-7. 8:28 to go in the half here at Mile High Stadium as the sun sets over the Rockies. In motion is Leonard Harris. On the first down, pressure for Galliano. He's being chased. He's out of bounds. Galliano may have picked up a yard or so. Monty Bennett, the left defensive end, really pursuing Bobby Galliano and finally running him out of bounds. And of course, the Oakland Invaders are the #2 team in the United States Football League in sacks with 46. The #1 team, the Denver Gold.
Here they are, the two best. And they're both putting good pressure on, but you can see, even with the short weeks, that they've prepared very well to try and pick up these blitzes. Oakland, #1 against the rush, also has held up very well, except for Gerhardt's touchdown run against the running game.
Galliano is given a loss on the play of about a yard, so it's 2nd and 11 for the goal from their own 35. White moving in motion to the top of your screen. Galliano is hit as he throws the ball complete. However, first down. White with it into Oakland territory at the 46-yard line. Vincent White tackled by Oliver Davis, but a first down for the Denver Gold.
I'll tell you, Fred, Bob Galliano has really impressed me how well he's thrown with people all around him. That takes a lot of poise, a lot of courage. And if you think that's easy, go down there and try it, folks.
Looked like Dave Browning, number 73, the right defensive end for the Oakland Invaders, was about ready to bury Galliano before he threw the ball.
It takes great courage to do that because you're going to get hit several times during the game, but you got to concentrate on what's important, the receiver.
7:36 to play in the half. 21-7 Oakland leads Denver with the football as Leonard Harris moves in motion to the bottom of your screen. Pitch to Gerhardt outside right. The big running back who has a touchdown tonight has the first down and then stumbles over the 35-yard line down to the 32. Angelo Snipes and Reuben Vaughn there to make the tackle for the Invaders. It looked like Gerhardt had his mind moving out before his feet could do it. I think Gerhardt was thinking another 6 points, but he doesn't have that sprinter speed by any means.
He bobbled the ball, I think, briefly when he was almost tackled and sort of came back and caught it in the air. Galliano, when he's seeing blitz by Oakland, and they use a lot of it, is audibilizing to that option play because you can block down on your gaps. Your receivers run off the secondary support. When you pitch that option, you got a lot of clean pasture out there.
Now, Bill Johnson not in the ball game. Number 37, Todd Gerhardt, with his hands on his knees behind quarterback Galliano on the 1st and 10. Galliano has the ball tipped, and it's intercepted by Ray Bentley for the Oakland Invaders. The ball was tipped by Monty Bennett, and Bentley picks up his 2nd interception of the season. So Bennett and Bentley combine for the 3rd interception of the night against Galliano.
This is a sprint screen. You start to sprint out, and the fullback, Gerhardt, instead of blocking now, as he normally does, slips by, and then you throw the screen over the rush. And if you don't run the offense all the time as a coach, you wonder, how do they get that screen in there? How come it doesn't get tipped more often? There it finally did happen.
7:15 to play in the half. Oakland with a football again. They lead 21-7. In this football game, they have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line, and again Bill Johnson not in the action offensively for the Denver Gold. They have 3:07 to play in the half. Todd Gerhardt, number 37, running in that back position. We don't know whether Johnson is hurt or what the problem is. We're trying to find out for you. Galliano fires it out right side to White. White with a first down, bumped out of bounds by Angelo Snipes, but a first down for the Denver Gold.
John Sullivan's having a tough time. It's a safety on one of those real small, quick backs. Sullivan got quite the quickness. The 2nd time he's avoided him. Mark Lewis, like a lot of those guys, they're small potatoes, but they're tough to peel. I'll tell you that.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Well, we got the word, and it's no laughing matter for the Denver Gold as Bill Johnson's groin is acting up again, and he is doubtful for the rest of this football game. 1st and 10 for the Denver Gold from their own 31. Harris again in motion. Galliano looking. Incomplete. Vincent White going down, trying to pick it up off this beautiful grass field here, could not do it.
There's Bill Johnson, and you know, Fred, this brings up quite a thought. Todd Gerhardt is the only other running back they have on the team active, unless they activated Donnie Williams before the game. He wasn't active an hour before. So that's pretty thin ice to be skating on. They have about 8 or 9 defensive backs, but only 2 running backs coming into this game.
As we told you, Todd Gerhardt at Cal State Fullerton, primarily a blocking back. But Mouse Davis, the coach of the Denver Gold, says the young man has really improved, and he says he can be a fine true ball carrier in the United States Football League. 2nd and 10. This again, though, Vincent White. White is tackled by Oliver Davis. Davis would not let White put the juke on him to move around and get open.
Davis came from the inside, wasn't the prime coverer on the play. Galliano continuing to deliver on good rhythm, 3, 4, 5 steps and get rid of it rather than get hit. Now, a key man, not just as a runner, but as a blocker, is at fullback. And you see Gerhardt here blocking on the defensive end. Dave Browning helping Galliano to get the ball off on the play.
5-yard gain on the reception from Galliano to White. 3rd and 5 at the 36-yard line of Denver. Again, White in motion to the top of your screen. Pressure coming to Galliano. He rifles the ball complete to Leonard Harris. First down. 45-yard line of the goal. So Denver picks up another first down with exactly 2 minutes to go in the first half here at Mile High Stadium. They trail in the football game by 14. Okay, Tom, the Gold trying to get on the scoreboard here as we have 2 minutes to play in this first half. The only touchdown they scored tonight, run in by Todd Gerhardt. Gerhardt replacing Bill Johnson, who is aggravated his groin injury in the first quarter and has seen very little action since then and very little expected out of the big running back from Arkansas State. Harris in motion on the 1st and 10 from the Gold 45 for Denver. Galliano with pressure, trips himself, still running, and then is pulled down by Angelo Snipes.
That Angelo Snipes is the most active linebacker I've seen. He came up as a strong safety, doing a great job, great second effort.
Went to West Georgia, and as we talked to Charlie Sumner today, he said they had Snipes as a strong safety with his weight. He's only 208 pounds, but with the quickness that the young man possesses, he says he really hasn't seen too many linebackers in pro football with the quickness that Snipes possesses.
It's not just quickness when he has plenty of that. He's got great effort, second effort.
Loss of 2. Galliano again with pressure, but eludes, fires downfield, incomplete. The pass underthrown. Troy Johnson was out there. Check that. It was not Troy Johnson, it was Mark Lewis. Lewis was out there, but it was underthrown for Lewis.
You know, Galliano has not had a lot of success trying to go to his wide receivers. He started the game going to them, but Derek Martin and Vito McKeever, the corners, were shutting him down. Then they hit a period of time where they were working the inside men, Vincent White and Automan Leonard Harris, and they're going against safeties, much slower people. Galliano's had much more success with them. He was doing it before the 2-minute warning. I'm surprised he didn't come back with more of the same.
So the people we watch are number 44 and number 80, White and Harris. That's Harris in motion. Galliano to throw, downfield by himself. Harris first down, deep into Oakland territory at the 22-yard line.
They were man-to-man, and Galliano throwing on rhythm. Harris is in motion, coming across. His defender, who's not in the picture, would have come across with him. He drives downfield, has a man nervous. It's number 41, John Sullivan. He trips, trying to change direction. If the sideline had not been there, and it looks to me like he could have done a better job of staying in. He could have done a better job of staying in. He had a sure 6 or 7 points.
Well, Harris may have pulled a muscle as we see him go back to the sideline. He's holding his thigh, and we'll see the medical report after that. In motion is again White, 1st and 10 for Denver from the 22 of Oakland. Pass complete. Tumble down quickly for the Denver Gold was Brad Caleb and Oliver Davis, the tackler. Let's watch this one.
The previous play, this is the Leonard Harris play. He's wide open. He catches the ball well in bounds, a long way, starting up that sideline, and just falls out of bounds. Now, he may have felt a tug on that muscle, but still, I think he should have stayed in bounds.
Looks like we have a timeout on the field now with the 1:13 to play in the first half here at Mile High Stadium. 21-7, the Oakland Invaders have the lead. This is a funny series between the Denver Gold and the Oakland Invaders. Until this evening, the home team has won every football game played between these two teams. And of course, the Denver Gold having a good streak of their own playing here at Mile High Stadium. So the Invaders come in trying to protect their lead in the West. The Gold looking to knock them out of that lead because they only trail by a half game. And we may have some reversal in form this evening. Right there, you see the autograph of Harry Usher, the commissioner of the United States Football League. 2nd and 8. In motion is Caleb to the bottom of your screen. Galliano fires downfield. The pass incomplete. Intended down there for Lonnie Turner, and he was met by Derek Martin. The fans booing, apparently wanting some interference.
You know, they rarely go to Lonnie Turner. Here's Caleb in motion replacing the auto man. They get a lot of coverage over there. Man-to-man, however, with a free safety. You see that free safety beginning to come into the picture? It keeps Galliano from leading Caleb where he would like to lead him.
Since Caleb is in the ball game, replacing Leonard Automan Harris, I have the feeling that he may have had a twinge in that right thigh and right calf muscle.
Well, he may have, or Mouse may have said, "Why'd you go out of bounds?" The muscle, you know, hurt a little bit.
And a timeout called again by the Denver Gold. Galliano coming over to talk to his coach, Mouse Davis. Of course, Mouse instituted the run and shoot at Portland State. And the young man who ran that offense for him, June Jones, is his offensive coordinator here in Denver. But there's a difference, you know, last year when Mouse Davis instituted the run and shoot with the Houston Gamblers, it had a different shape, a different feel to it than the run and shoot of the Denver Gold.
Well, for one thing, I think he does remember the run aspect of it. They ran very well last year with Sam Harrell and Todd Fowler. They're running well here. Houston is, I think, going a little bit more for the big play, not being nearly so effective with the run. And Mouse also has himself a great defense here. That helps your offense.
And, of course, if you have a drawback on that Houston Gambler team, and it's got to be their defense.
Yes, they're leading the league in interceptions, 30. If it weren't for that, they would be having a bad season because they ranked 13th out of the 14 teams in yardage given up.
So Bob Galliano, who 5 games ago replaced Vince Evans at quarterback for the Denver Gold, claps his team out of the huddle. 3rd and 8 for Denver from the 20-yard line of Oakland. Oakland leading by 14. Caleb again in motion. Pitch, Gerhardt trying to get outside a couple of yards, and that is it. Gerhardt is hit by Ray Bentley and Angelo Snipes. And the big guy from Cal State Fullerton could go maybe a couple of yards, and that was it. Bentley, who played his college football at Central Michigan, and Snipes out of West Georgia, sandwiching Todd Gerhardt.
Snipes claims he's the only West Georgia player in pro football, so there'd be 2, a lad on the field, one from West Georgia and one from Harding on the field tonight. They're forced into a field goal situation, be about a 35-yarder.
Jim Asmus, who missed one earlier of 52 yards, will be kicking out of the hold of Bob Galliano. And if we see down on the field, I do not think Asmus uses the kicking tee or the kicking block that most kickers in the United States Football League use.
I don't believe so. I don't see one from here.
And Asmus will be kicking from the 25-yard line, making it a 35-yard try. Now Galliano wants a timeout called.
He saw just 4 seconds remaining on the 30-second clock.
And 4 seconds remaining in the half here.
That's what you're right, Fred. It is the 4 seconds in the half. They wanted to run it down as far as they could so that they would not have to kick off after the field goal attempt.
I guess Jim Asmus, the field goal kicker, number 9, has had a problem getting things transferred from Hawaii to here. Apparently he had some luggage coming and a trunk come over from Hawaii. Disappeared at the airport, and he didn't have too many clothes, because yesterday when we went over to talk to Mouse Davis at the Denver training site in Commerce, Colorado, Jim was trying on the gold jackets that they sell to the fans, saying, I have no clothes to wear. I got to get something to wear. Somebody took my suitcase.
He's the best customer of those USFL properties.
That's right.
Everybody thought he was just being loyal wearing all those shirts with Denver Gold printed on it. It was necessity.
So Jim Asmus will be attempting a 35-yard kick. And as we pointed out, he does not use the kicking block. It's about an inch high that allows a good elevation, a quick elevation on the football.
There's another advantage to it, Fred. You know,
he does use it.
There it is.
Okay, we got a good shot there.
It allows, you know where the ball is going to be placed. There is a spot where your shirt will come down. Asmus
has it. It's gone to the uprights, and the kick is true. So as the gun sounds, ending the first half, the Denver Gold get 3 points and trail the Oakland Invaders by 11, 21-10.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tom Meade. Hope you're enjoying the action tonight from Denver. The Denver Gold taking on the Oakland Invaders. We'll be back for the second half in a moment. Time now to take a look at the top statistical leaders from last weekend's action in the USFL. We're going to start with the passing, and keep in mind that they determine the ranking of the passers each week by the amount of yards they throw for in a game. Sometimes it's a little bit deceiving, including this week. Our top-rated passer again this week, as he's been for most of the season, is Jim Kelly of the Houston Gamblers. His team lost for the second week in a row, and Jim's completion percentage below 60%. But he threw for more yards than any other quarterback in the league last week, 312.
First and 10. The Gamblers are running, and they're shooting right now. McNeil.
Jim Kelly and the Gamblers would lose that game to the Jacksonville Bulls as the Bulls' defense tightened up considerably. But it didn't stop Kelly from throwing yet another touchdown pass, number 36 on the season. Mike Kelly of the Memphis Showboats had a great outing and a big win against Tampa Bay. And Cliff out of Birmingham had the best week of anybody, nearly 80% completions and 5 touchdown passes in a win against L.A. Turning now to the rushers, again, it sounds like a broken record, but as long as this man keeps running for over 100 yards every week, you got to go with him, right? Herschel Walker ran for 142 yards on 36 carries last week. That's the 7th week in a row. Herschel's going over the 100-yard mark. He did that last week, 142 yards against the Denver Gold. He's Mr. Dependable down close. We'll see coming up a 4th and goal situation for the Generals in a close tilt against Denver. They lost the game, but Herschel, it wasn't his fault. He's now over 1,600 yards on the season. Bill Johnson of Denver in that game had 98 yards against New Jersey, and Tim Spencer against Tampa Bay ran for 91 last week. In receiving, Jim Smith of the Birmingham Stallions, the former Steeler. Well, he connected 8 times with his former Steeler quarterback, Cliff Stout, 185 yards and 3 touchdowns, including a 45-yard TD strike to Smith, all against the hapless LA Express last week. Greg Moser and Derek Crawford of Memphis each had 7 catches in an exciting win for Memphis over Tampa Bay. And tonight at Mile High Stadium in Denver, our score, the Oakland Invaders, the visitors and leaders of the Western Conference, on top 21-10. The Denver Gold still in the game despite interceptions and injuries. Let's go back to Mile High Stadium. Fred Manfra and Marv Levy.
Well, Tom, both teams are on the field, getting loosened up for the second half of play here at Mile High Stadium. You see the West leading, Oakland Invaders leading the Gold here. Well, stats-wise as well.
Well, the statistics are pretty even. Oakland having better possession time, but Oakland's been hitting the big plays. Total yards, Oakland with a slight bulge, but Denver's made up for that with a long punt return, which doesn't really show there. Turnovers, that's the big one. 3 by Denver, none by Oakland. Now, as far as those keys that we talked about at the beginning of the game, Fred, Denver's protected the passer pretty darn well, but they haven't stopped the big play. A bomb to Bentley, a bomb to Banks, and another touchdown run, a long run by Bentley. They've had an average running game, but not as good as they would like. Oakland has been perfect. Good pass protection. They've stopped the big play completely. They have had a standoff, in my opinion, in the kicking game, which is to Denver's credit.
Now the possessions for the Oakland Invaders, as you see, a lot of quick strikes for the TDs, except for that last one when they went 10 plays. But the first time they had the ball, it just took them 2, and it took them 5, and then the 10-play touchdown drive.
99 yards, too, to get that touchdown.
The Denver Gold, on the other hand, with just 10 points on the night.
10 points on the night. 2 of the first 3 possessions from deep in their own territory resulted in interceptions after having missed a field goal from deep in their own territory. When they got in pretty good position, they scored a touchdown. They had to go a long way in 10 plays late in the half to come away with the field goal, which has put them back in the ball game.
So we're about set to start the second half here. The half is underway as Asmus kicks it to the near side. Coming over to take it is Eric Jordan at the 5 to the 10. Jordan to the 20. Flag down as Jordan is wrapped down at the 27-yard line. So the flag is down. Nate Harris made the tackle for the Denver Gold, and from the indication given by the Gold, that penalty is going to go against the Oakland Invaders.
The receiving team, first down.
I think it was a blocking from behind above the waist. Happens so often on kick return play. It's unfortunate that so many penalties occur on kicks because it does detract from the flow of the game.
And of course, tonight, the Oakland Invaders have been slapped with numerous penalties.
Not just tonight. They continue the trend. They've had a lot during the year. Denver's done pretty well in avoiding penalties, but you don't like to start the second half that deep in your own territory.
There's Carl Sullivan, who was caught on the kickoff return, number 96. Bobby Hebert trotting back onto the field for the Oakland Invaders. Hebert directing the attack. Has set the record for the Invaders with touchdown passes in a single season, smashing the mark set by Fred Bassana. Albert Bentley, flag down again. Bentley banging his way up to the 18-yard line or so, but there was a flag dropped back at the 7 or 8-yard line. Stan Blinka, the veteran left linebacker for the Denver Gold, made the tackle, but now here comes a holding call against the Oakland Invaders.
They're digging themselves a hole. Bentley, that same outside move and slide inside. Going back inside their 5-yard line, and a costly mistake.
It's amazing.
It could really hurt.
Now, head coach Charlie Sumner can just stand there very placidly with his arms folded. You can imagine what's going through his mind at the moment.
That's what he looks like on the outside. Inside, he's seething.
There you see the penalty yards and the penalties. 1st and 14 for the Invaders. Ball at their own 4-yard line. Fire it. He does to Carter. Anthony is finally tackled after bobbing and weaving by Doug Mikolas. And so now the tempers flare. And I was waiting for that because the Oakland Invaders and the Denver Gold, since day one in training camp back in 1983, when they were training in Arizona, there has been no love between the Invaders and the Gold.
I don't think that situation has improved. Here's Anthony Carter on the play. Denver has a lot of people up faking a blitz, but the corner covering him, Nate Miller, is way off. So Carter, by hooking up, is able to make that catch. John Nevins, number 59, almost got in under it. But Hebert throwing him out of trouble again as he did in the first half when he was on his own 1-yard line.
So it's at the 17, 2nd and 1 for Oakland in their own territory. Coming in motion is John Williams. The handoff following the block of Williams is Bentley. He has the first down and more. Puts his head down and barrels up to the 25-yard line. Darrell Hemphill making the stop, the strong safety for the Denver Gold. And Hemphill, after last Sunday's victory over the New Jersey Generals, said that that was the benchmark game in the history of the franchise here in Denver, winning a come-from-behind effort against the powerful New Jersey Generals.
Well, I can see why he felt that way, but that one fades into the corridors of time now. When you got this game for first place, winner is undisputed in first place, undisputedly in first place.
See the score there. Oakland with a lead, 1st and 10 from their own 25. Hebert gives it to Williams. Williams again with 5 yards. Stan Blinka there wrestling. John Williams to the turf. Williams, who played his college football at Wisconsin.
You know, Fred, something that Oakland's doing, which has been their pattern all year, 3 of their linemen that started this second half are not starting linemen. Tom Turner at center, Reggie Irving at right guard, and Steve Wright at right tackle are all replacing the starters, Leonard and Franz and Dale Markham. They use all 8 of their linemen a great deal in every game.
The 5-yard gain by Williams has it 2nd and 5 for Oakland at their own 30-yard line. Coming back off the line of scrimmage on the wing is tight end Doug Cozen. Now he's in motion. Following the block of Cozen is Williams, and Williams is tripped up as he crosses the 30-yard line, maybe to the 31. Looked like Cozen had thrown the good block, but Williams was tripped up. Stan Blinka may have gotten a hand out there.
Stan Blinka dove and just got his hand on his instep, or else Williams would have had pretty darn good yardage. Denver allowing for a game average this season under 300, and they're almost at that mark already here early in the 3rd quarter.
Well, Blinka goes out. Jeff Delaney comes in. 3rd and 4 situation for the Invaders from their own 31-yard line. They have the lead, 21-10. Just underway here. Second half at Mile High Stadium. is complete to Carter for the first down. Anthony is back out of bounds at the 40-yard line of the Oakland Invaders by Calvin Lovell.
Hebert dropping back. He looks to his right, doesn't like what he sees. He knows he's got Carter singled over there. He's under a lot of pressure when he delivered that ball. Calvin Lovell in the game at corner now. Here's Walls, number 55 in black. Blitzing on a stunt blitz, but he's picked up very well by number 56 in white, Tom Trenier. That's what helps give Hebert the time to complete those long curl or comeback patterns to Carter and Banks and Holloway.
Oakland has the ball at their own 42. Hebert times. Lofts it downfield. Holloway can't hang on. Again, Lovell, the defender. Lovell replacing Lance Shields, who was beaten badly in that first half on several plays. .10:38 to play in the third quarter. You see Anthony Carter coming in with a play from the sideline, communicating with quarterback Bobby Hebert. Out of the football game, John Williams. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Invaders, still at their own 42. See Anthony looking for that 1,000 yards tonight. On the second down, Hebert to put it in the air. Carter racing under the football. Carter cannot hang on. Carter looked like he was going to come up with a catch at the 7-yard line, again beating Calvin Lovell. Lovell is being picked on.
Well, they've got two new corners in the game. Calvin Lovell over there on the defensive right side. He's not quite sure what he wants to do. He takes his eye off the ball, which he absolutely can't do. Carter could have had it. Lovell really not playing that ball in a fundamentally correct manner whatsoever. They have two rookie corners in the game. Calvin Lovell is going in at right corner for Nate Miller, and they replace Lance Shields over on the other corner with Ernie Carswell, who normally is a safety man.
3rd and 10 for Oakland, still at their 42. Coming in hard is Craig Walls. Hebert gets it away. The pass complete at the 30-yard line of Denver for the first down. The reception made by old dependable Mr. Gordon Banks.
Well, I tell you, Hebert has seen, or the coaching staff, I should say, probably the coaching staff on the Invaders, see that there are two rookie corners in there, one of them who's not even a corner. What the reasons are, we'll try to find out. And he's going to work on them. He's trying to throw deep and get a quick touchdown, or at least get those fellas hanging way off so he can work a shorter game against them.
Gordon Banks, the all-time leading receiver in Oakland Invader history. 5-year pro from Stanford. Having an excellent night this Thursday. Holloway in the slot. Carter split to the top of your screen. Now Holloway in motion. The handoff to Williams. He hurdles over the line of scrimmage to the 26-yard line. Then he is met by a number of those black jersey Denver Gold players. Let's watch the hurdling ability of John Williams here as he gets the handoff from Hebert.
I don't hear much about this fellow, but he's really a solid back. Getting a good block by Bentley on the outside. He tries to get over the top. When he does come down, his leg does strike one of the players on the ground and trips him up, but he gets a 3 or 4 yard gain on the play.
2nd and 6. From the 26 of Denver for the Oakland Invaders. Williams and Bentley split in the backfield. Williams 43, Bentley 32. That's Williams in motion now. Bentley following the block of Williams to the 21-yard line. The tackle made by Mike Talaferro for the Denver Gold. Boobin there also, and Blinka for the Gold.
We haven't seen much of Eric Jordan tonight. They're working Alvin Bentley a great deal. You see him now with an 11.4 average, 80 yards on just 7 carries. It seems like he's carried more than that. Alvin, I used to coach with George Allen. He used to have a statement for a player who didn't have a very good game one week and came back with a great one the next. Bentley was 6 carries, 9 yards last week, and he came back this week, and it was, hey, Albert just came out of retirement. Well, he sure come out of retirement tonight.
A 22-year-old coming out of retirement.
Yeah.
8:05 to play in the third quarter. 3rd and 1. They got the pile driver in there. Newton, he's got the first down. Tommy Newton barreling straight ahead, picking up the first down inside the 20 for the Oakland Invaders at about the 17-yard line.
On the carry for Oakland.
Striking over the right side of the line. The defense taking an out charge there, expecting a wide play. And that's something Newton isn't going to do very often, is go wide. They weren't expecting Newton to get the ball. But he pile drives it up there. Very good position. This is blitz territory. Let's see if they do it.
And a good drive after the penalties early being put on by the Oakland Invaders. They lead by 11. First and 10 from the 17. Hebert throws. The pass complete to his tight end, Cozen. Cozen inside the 5. He'll have it goal to go from the 4-yard line. John Nevins, the middle linebacker, beaten. Cozen picks up a very infrequent reception.
That's his 5th. That's an upset when they throw to their tight end, Fred. That's his 5th reception of the year. Came in with 4 for a pretty good average, 16-5.
Goal to go for the Oakland Invaders at the 4-yard line of the Denver goal.
Everybody's bringing their goal line personnel now. All the big fellas come in. Those 2 tackles go to end for Oakland, and then a bunch of defensive men, big linemen, come in for Denver goal, along with Kilkenny, who will pair up with Nevins at linebacker. Actually, it's Calvin Walls. I'm sorry, Fred.
Number 70 caught a touchdown pass earlier in this football game. That's Steve Wright. He's on the right side of the line at the bottom of your picture, but the handoff goes to Williams. Williams, very little gain. He is hit by Tom Kilkenny. So John Williams, no gain on that one.
Ball carrier around the right side.
And it will be goal to go still for the Oakland Invaders from the 4-yard line of the Denver goal. Second down this time.
Also on the tackle, number 58, Tom Kilkenny.
They're either.
Charlie Sumner looking on with his fingers crossed that his Invaders will add to their lead here. Yelling a play in. Here comes Bobby Hebert over to talk to his coach. Paul Bergman, another tight end going into the football game for the Invaders. Coming out of the ball game, the running back Tom Newton. So we'll have an oddity here. 2 tight ends in for the Oakland Invaders. 84 Bergman, 89 Cozen. Bergman will be on the right side. Cozen will be on the left side of the line on a wings back position. Handoff to Williams. Williams fighting and crawling his way toward the goal line. Stopped at the 1-yard line. Third down and goal to go from the 1. Calvin Lovell initially making the hit for the Denver goal.
Tripped up by number 99, Calvin Turner.
Also there, Calvin Turner for the Denver goal. Newton coming into the ball game, replacing the lighter Albert Bentley at running back. There you see it. They have eaten up this clock.
Tom Newton just came back into the game, and on the 1-yard line, Fred, he is certainly the likely receiver. It's a little bit more than 1 yard. It's a long yard and a half. But I still think they will probably run it. Not bad play action situation, but I still think run.
Look for number 45 here. He's got it. Will not get into the end zone. Newton was hit hard by that Denver goal defensive line. You can point them out along there and pick out who hit him first. But they did a good job of digging in and stopping the pile-driving running back, Tom Newton.
It's been their bread and butter play, just powering over the left side. John Williams leading, but the Denver defensive line charge is what does the play there, is what makes the play there, I should say. And they stack it up before Newton can get over the top.
Now you see number 59, John Nevins, in pain on the bench for the Denver Gold. Nevins, they call him Old Scrap Iron. Earlier had his bell rung, but recovered. Now he looks like he's in greater pain and may have sustained a more substantial injury than he did in the first half. He's on the bench now, off the bench to exercise his right soccer-style kicking leg, Novo Bojovic. Mr. Bojovic will be attempting a 20-yard field goal. And Bojovic is true despite the fact the snap was bobbled by Freddie Bassana. So with 4:04 to play in the third quarter here at Mile High Stadium, Oakland improves its lead 24-10 over Denver. So the Oakland Invaders, the leaders in the West, have the lead here in this football game by 14 now. 24-10, and Novo Bojovic skipping with glee following his 20-yard field goal. Bojovic, boy, he goes in the valley when he misses a field goal, and he goes to the top of the mountain when he makes one. And now he's kicked the ball that could reach the top of the mountains into the end zone. Lonnie Harris with it. Harris, some good moves to get it to the 21-yard line. Maybe they'll mark it at the 20-yard line for the Denver Gold. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Galliano. And there it is. Look how much they ate up on that drive for the 3 points.
You know, they've gone 99 yards tonight and 92 yards tonight for touchdowns. 15 plays this time, 10 the previous time. And they came, not for touchdowns, they settled for a field goal on this one.
Well, they marked the ball at the 15-yard line of the Denver Gold. Bob Galliano, who is now 50% on the night through the air, will have Leonard Harris back in the ball game. He went out earlier. Looked like he had a groin problem. The ball thrown complete to Harris. Harris at the 21-yard line, 4 yards shy of the first down yardage. Angelo Snipes making the stop for the Oakland Invaders.
Harris had been in motion. Galliano sprints to his right, pretends he's going to go there, looks back, hits that speedy young man whose defender drops way off him. It's Angelo Snipes who closes in to make the stop there.
Well, Todd Gerhardt still running at halfback for the Denver Gold. Bill Johnson left in the first half. His groin problem acting up. In motion now to the top of your screen is Vincent White. Galliano looking to the right side, fires it out to White. Is it ruled a catch? No. Incompletion. Incompletion. John Sullivan defending. They say White either picked it up off the top of the grass or did not handle it as he was going down.
I'll tell you, a receiver hates to get a ball delivered like this. Oh, they're having a little conference to see if it is complete or not. It's not going to be for big yards, but it's going to be for something.
Now they do rule completion because they give him a yard gain. Let's see what the official says here. Now they ruled it complete.
Snipes said, well, let's run the clock then.
Yeah.
It's a little bit early to start playing the clock with 18 minutes left in the game.
Every second counts. 24-10. Oakland over this team, the Denver Gold.
3rd and 3. There is no short yardage offense difference, I should say, in the run and shoot. Everything's the same.
Harris again coming to the bottom of your screen in motion. Time to throw, but no receivers open. Rifles it downfield. Harris with the reception. First down out of bounds at the 34-yard line of Denver. David Greenwood defending. The connection between Galliano and Leonard Automan Harris along the far sideline.
Harris does a great job. He's coming across the middle from Galliano's left. And number 31, David Greenwood, is standing right in the middle. He fakes like he's going upfield, gets Greenwood to stand that way, and then breaks again to the sideline, enough to make the first down on the play. There's Miles calling those plays again. No hand signals for him.
Just yell them right out. Here's David Greenwood, another player who had 2 fine years in Michigan and Pontiac with the Panthers. Was hurt last year most of the season. Flag down. Galliano throws. Pass complete to Troy Johnson. Johnson is then triple teamed as he has the first down at the 46-yard line. Derek Martin, the right corner, the lead tackler. But there's a flag down. Well, listen. The officials conferring. And now we'll have the proclamation.
Encroachment, number 89 on the offense. Still first down.
That's Troy Johnson.
It meant he was lined up in the neutral zone instead of behind the ball from out his wide receiver spot.
Let's hope you couldn't read Mouse Davis's lips that time. Mouse was a little upset. Ball at the 30, check that, the 29-yard line of the Denver Gold. 1st and 15 following the 5-yard penalty.
Well, a very frustrating thing happened to Denver. Losing 21-10. They didn't get the ball for 12 minutes in the second half, and the run and shoot just dying to get the ball. Anybody is, for that matter.
Under 2 minutes to play in this 3rd quarter. Harris again in motion. Galliano fires it out here. Incomplete off the fingertips of Harris. Snipes around the football, as he always seems to be for the Oakland Invaders.
Snipes was way inside, dropping back, trying to take away the curl route. And when that ball was delivered, he planted and drove on it as well as I've ever seen any defensive back do it.
At halftime, I saw the president and general manager of the Oakland Invaders, Vince Lombardi, up here in the press box, and when I mentioned Snipes' name, his face lit up like a neon sign. He loves the play of Angelo Snipes.
There's a young man that's great on sacks, great on pass coverage, great on pursuit, great on kick coverage. Got quite a rookie with quite a career ahead of him.
Lonnie Turner splitting out of your picture. In motion to the bottom of the screen is Leonard Harris again on the 2nd and 15. Harris by himself with the reception at the 30, and then he is knifed down by Angelo Snipes once again.
He did it almost an identical repeat of what he had done on the previous down, Fred. Here you see Snipes. Galliano sprints out. He dropped back. He's getting under the curl pattern by the wide receiver. However, he sees the ball being thrown wide, reacts up. Harris tried to put a move on him, but somehow or other he was able to get enough on Harris to bring him down.
Snipes, of course, as we mentioned, is not the big prototype linebacker, but I guess that's the trend in pro football today. They get those quick, speedy linebackers.
It certainly is. You get the quicker, smaller wide receivers, and you need quicker, smaller defensive linebackers to help counteract them.
On the 3rd and 11, Galliano gone downtown, overthrown at the 22-yard line. Lewis way out there, but Galliano could not hook up. It'll be a 4th down. The fans restless tonight at Mile High, booing that long bomb attempt that failed for the Denver Gold. So Asmus will come into the football game to punt. Asmus, who had his best punting game last week against the New Jersey Generals, kicking for a good average in the first half, and then didn't have to kick in the second half of that football game. One receiver going back for the Oakland Invaders. You see him down there, Sean Faulkner, first-year pro from Western Michigan. This is Asmus's first punt of the evening. He's averaging about 37 yards a kick. Nice high spiral. Faulkner calling for the fair catch, makes it at the 14-yard line, and for a while there, Faulkner must have had his heart in his throat as he went back for that football game. 37 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Oakland 24, Denver 10. Now the Denver Bronco will not be running in the Jersey Derby, but Spend a Buck will. The Kentucky Derby champion will. Should be a great way to spend your Memorial Day watching the Jersey Derby on ESPN. Now that's the view you get if you're on the sideline looking for your face mask as a football player watching the fans cheer. Of course, the coach then gets very angry because you're not keeping your mind in the football game. You're watching the fans.
You're looking the wrong way, absolutely.
14-point lead for the Oakland Invaders.
But you don't get too mad at that guy because that was a lineman's face mask, and they're big and mean.
22 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter here at Mile High. Watching that clock roll down to the end of the 3rd quarter. Holloway to the top of your screen. Williams gets the pitch. Bentley throws the block. Williams is open. Williams pulled down at the 25-yard line. Hanging on for dear life was Calvin Lovell. He just would not let John Williams shake him. End of the 3rd quarter now. Oakland comfortably in front, 24-10 over the Denver Gold. Now the expression on Charlie Sumner's face, from it you'd never know that his team is leading by 14 now. Some of his players know it, as you see the smiles on the bench. His Oakland Invaders, as we start this 4th quarter, have the football. 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Holloway will slot at the bottom of your screen. Carter is the wide receiver. Out of your picture is Gordon Banks. Holloway now in motion. Short drop. Hebert fires. Anthony Carter with a reception. Carter driven out of bounds near the 1st down yardage at the 36-yard line. Calvin Lovell at corner, making the stop on Anthony Carter.
Hebert picking them apart, and it's because they're picking up the blitz. Look at Roy Pinney there. Move inside and pick up Mike McKibben on the blitz. Hebert has delivered the ball already very quickly. Carter working against Calvin Lovell. Two new corners who come in the second half to replace their starting corners are getting an education right now.
Ray Pinney, who played last season for the Michigan Panthers. And boy, when they united the Panthers with the Oakland Invaders, everyone figured that this would be a powerhouse football club, and it certainly has developed into just that. Holloway again in motion on the 1st and 10. Bentley protecting that football as he crosses the 40-yard line to the 43. Craig Walls, the tackle for the Denver Gold. Statistically in the 3rd quarter, here's how things went.
Probably at the end of the 3rd quarter, of course, Oakland really commanded yardage in the 3rd quarter and moved ahead in total yards by a little bit. The turnover is still the big factor. Oh, by quite a bit, because their passing yards add up to so much. Their rushing yards, I should say, they've added a good deal in the rushing category.
Time of possession, of course, is Oakland's by far. Second and 4 for Oakland from their own 43. Sprinting in motion to the bottom of the screen is Gordon Banks. Williams with the football, 1st down. Williams driving his way into the territory of the Denver Gold, stopped at the 43-yard line by free safety Steve Trimble.
A basic power play off the right side. They're mixing their run and pass game very well. Here you see lineman pull. Williams has a gaping hole with Alvin Bentley leading him through it. The defense is falling off quite a bit, expecting pass. When they do, they get hit with the run. When they come up to try and get pass rush, they're singled on the outside, and the Invaders are picking up the blitz.
Marv, last weekend against San Antonio, the Oakland Invaders had a difficult time moving the football. Tonight, against somewhat better of a defense of Denver Gold, they're not having that much trouble.
They've got them completely off balance, Fred. They're just guessing right. They're reading their defense well and exploiting it at every turn.
On the 1st down and 10 from the 43. Pressure coming to Hebert, but he fires it downfield. Was it a catch or was it not a catch? Gordon Banks came up with a football. He says he caught it. Now the official said no way, Jose.
I think Banks tried to maybe convince him, but when they said no catch, he accepted it pretty well. See the end of the catch here. Defender closing in very fast. Ball hits the ground in front of him and rolls in. Bank tried to get up and convince the official that he caught it, but you're not going to fool those officials.
Not every time.
Hard as you try, you're not going to fool them.
12:42 to play in the football game. The ball at the 43 of Denver. 2nd and 10 for the Invaders, who lead by 14. Hebert with pressure lobs it out, incomplete. He was just throwing the ball for dear life. Coming on like a train was Craig Walls, also coming in there. Darrell Hemphill.
Safety blitz, strong safety. Darrell Hemphill, number 25, is coming. And Hebert, if he could have had just a little more chance of throwing a screen out here to Williams, just didn't have quite enough time. Walls was too close. Williams had a lot of running room with a phalanx of blockers in front of him.
Look at that time of possession there. Amazing. And the game has been in the back pocket so far of the Oakland Invaders.
Those two long drives from inside their 10-yard, from their own 10-yard line, certainly consumed a lot of time.
3rd and 10 for the Invaders now, still at the 43 of Denver. And I think Bobby Hebert achieved what he wanted that time. Some movement on the defensive line of the Denver Gold. Charging off was left defensive end Bruce Thornton. It's a legal procedure, however, against the Oakland Invaders.
Probably was movement in the offensive line.
Let's see number 70. Let's watch Steve Wright.
Steve Wright, the right tackle.
No, I don't know. Oh, there
rolling.
it is. There he is.
He's rolling, but the defense had begun to move, and if it's a simultaneous reaction, he should not be penalized for it. Maybe he's getting ready to go out for another pass. I don't think from that spot he was.
He has a touchdown reception tonight. So it's 3rd and 15 now for the Invaders. .37 to play in the football game. Oakland 24, Denver 10. Hebert laying it out for Carter. Carter runs, cuts the ball. He catches the football. What a reception by Anthony Carter at the 12-yard line, out of bounds. Calvin Lovell beaten. That time, Carter did a great job of acting, not giving any indication that the football was coming until he made the reception. Let's watch.
Actually, you can't fault Lovell on this. Maybe he should have been a little closer. You should run elbow to elbow with the receiver. Run with him elbow to elbow, and when he looks up, you look up and roll into him a little bit. But it was a great throw by Hebert against the blitz. Lovell was playing press coverage against Carter. Carter's concentration magnificent.
And a first down for the Oakland Invaders. Anthony Carter receiving congratulations from Novo Bojovic. And the Invaders continue their domination, and I'm surprised how they have dominated this football game.
More than any other reason, they've handled the blitz and hit some big pass plays when they've occurred. They've run well, but that's been the single biggest reason.
That's Williams in movement. Bentley following the block of Williams, maybe gains 3. He's pulled down by Tom Kilkenny.
Tom's getting a chance to see some action tonight, and he's playing very well. He hasn't played a great deal this year, being behind John Nevins, but he's playing very well. Anthony Carter, Fred, over the 1,000-yard receiving mark for the season with that last catch.
And of course, he's the all-time receiver for the Oakland Invaders, surpassing tonight a fellow who had a great career in the National Football League. Talking about yardage-wise, the great tight end Raymond Chester. Of course, he set the record in 1983 for yardage with the Oakland Invaders when Chester was doing such a fine job for John Ralston's Invaders. 2nd and 9. The lob to the end zone. Holloway, touchdown. That was a perfectly timed play.
Another safety blitz where you're singled out there and their speed is just too much for the corners. He went to work there on Ernie Carswell, really a safety man who's been forced into action, replacing Lance Shields, who had his troubles in the first half. Jeff Delaney, number 40, is blitzing untouched, but Holloway just blows on by Carswell there, and Hebert continues to lay that over-the-shoulder pass in so well.
Well, here's the opposite receiver, Anthony Carter. He didn't need the official to signal touchdown. AC did.
The more things you can do, Fred, the better. The more help you are to your team. If you can't catch him, signal touchdown.
Mouse Davis would like to signal for the reinforcements to come in here, especially at quarterback. Bojovic will kick out of the hole to Fred Basana. It's good. 11:38 to play in the contest here at Mile High Stadium. Well, the first meeting between Oakland and Denver on the very first weekend of play in this USFL season ended with that score 31-10. Oakland dominating Denver. We didn't expect it tonight, but geez, Oakland has really flexed its muscles.
They are dominating them again, and the big reason is Denver continues to try to blitz them. Oakland's receivers are picking them apart because the blitz is getting picked up or read by Bobby Hebert well enough.
Bojovic picks it high. Harris running over to take it at the 2, to the 5, to the 10. They need a big run from Harris here, and they're getting it. Harris to the 37-yard line. Lonnie Harris, one of the premier kickoff returners in the United States Football League, gives his team good field position at the 37-yard line, but the goal trail 31-10. With 11:23 to play in the football game, the Denver Gold has its work cut out for it, trailing by 21. Galliano will start trying to chip away at that Oakland lead right here. 1st and 10 for the Gold from their own 37, following that good kickoff return by Lonnie Harris. Long count by Galliano, maybe checking off. Handoff to Todd Gerhart. Gerhart over the 40 to the 42-yard line, hitting him down there. Angelo Snipes again for the Oakland Invaders. How many times have we called Snipes' name this evening?
Many. He is doing a great job. We're going to get a look at him once again. Number 59. Everybody knows that by now. He starts to drop on a pass. He thinks he sees pass. Works his way over to the play. Actually, he just comes.
There, the ball now at the 44-yard line of the Oakland Invaders. 1st down for the Denver Gold. John Sullivan played his college football at Cal Berkeley.
Golden Bears.
In motion to the top of your screen, Brad Caleb for Denver. Got Galliano is hit, but eludes the possible tackle, then throws downfield, incomplete. Vincent White, and again, we may have a call against John Sullivan.
That poor guy. He's playing very aggressively and really very soundly, but 2 in a row on pass interference.
Pass interference. Number 41 on the defense. That's an automatic first down.
So John Sullivan has been most of the offense in the second half for the Denver Gold.
This one, I don't know. He's jumping for the ball. I guess it can be called. He's on his back. And you can't scrutinize everyone. An official is down there and makes a call on the basis of what he sees.
Vincent White shaken up on that play, number 44 being helped, and there have been a lot of guys shaken up on that Denver Gold Club by the Oakland Invaders this evening.
Well, Sullivan did come down over the top of Vincent White on the play, and he took quite a jolt. You know, a lot of people say scores 31-10, you're being dominated. They're down by 21. There's 10 minutes left in the game. But honestly, from a coaching standpoint, you still tell your team, look, if we can take this one in, we got a chance. We'll regain the momentum. Let's get a good kickoff return. Well, they did. And you don't give up on that sideline, even though you're down 31-10, and even though you're being dominated, and even though your fans may think, well, it's all over for the night, start packing the equipment bag. You still feel, and so do players, you've got a chance to pull it out. Stranger things have happened, and I'm sure that's what's the mental set of the Denver Gold right now.
Is that real thought, or is that just rhetoric?
That is the truth, Fred.
9:45 to play in the football game. 1st and 10 following the pass interference call for the Gold. The 29 of Oakland. Galliano over the middle, wide open with the reception. A flag down again at the 10-yard line, spinning to the 6. Mark Lewis, goal to go for the Denver Gold, but a flag thrown back at the 20-yard line.
Sullivan didn't interfere with Lewis on that one.
No, he didn't, but we'll see what the call is.
Pass interference. Number 85 on the offense. That's a loss of down. 2nd down.
The pass interference called against Gil Stiegel of the Denver Gold. So we've had 3 consecutive pass interference calls. 2 in a row against John Sullivan of Oakland, and now 1 against Gil Stiegel of the Denver Gold.
I'm going to make a wild guess. Since that was the wide receiver dragging across the middle, first time I've seen that tonight, he probably came underneath one of his slot backs, Gil Stiegel. Stiegel, I'm sure, ran into someone, picked off his man. That's why Lewis was so wide open. His man had been picked off and knocked to the ground. That's only speculation, and if we don't have to see it, I can't be proved wrong.
Bring the ball back to the 39-yard line now of Oakland. 2nd and 20 for the Denver Gold. Stiegel in motion. Draw play to Gerhardt to the 30. Gerhardt to the 25. Tacklers with him to the 21-yard line. Todd Gerhardt.
That's Fred. Here we'll see it again. It's the old pass action run. Galliano's sprinting out. It's a sprint draw, not your classic draw you see in a drop back game. The linebackers have all dropped back to cover pass. It's long yardage. Gerhardt, very tough to bring down. David Greenwood hits him first, but he needs a lot of help to wrestle Gerhardt to the ground.
3rd down and 3 now for the Denver Gold. Galliano to put it in the air. He just throws it away. He was being pressured, and he was finally tumbled down at the 31-yard line.
They took a chance and blitzed down here in what approaches tough territory. Number 59, Angelo Snipes in white. Starts to see the sprint out, starts the blitz, decides to keep coming. You see him get under Bob Galliano's right armpit, doesn't allow him to follow through. Breaks up the play. This guy is the defensive star of the night, no question.
Angelo Snipes. 4th and 3 for the Denver Gold. With 8:26 to play in the football game, they have it at the 22-yard line of the Oakland Invaders.
I'm going to award Snipes your automobile, Fred, as the defensive player of the game.
So he wants a 1949 DeSoto, huh? Here's Galliano. Pass complete. First down for the Denver Gold when they need it. The reception made by Troy Johnson. Derek Martin, the right cornerback, beaten by Galliano and Troy Johnson.
Galliano's playing a very gutsy game tonight. Something special, he just said.
Well, we get word that Vincent White, who had to leave the ball game after the pass interference call as he was trying to make the catch. Right shoulder injury doubtful for the rest of the game for the Denver Gold. Caleb now in motion. Incomplete. Again, John Sullivan flying over Caleb. Sullivan is a very aggressive defender.
Well, he has to be. Here he is, a safety man, being assigned for the whole night to cover these slot backs. You can call them slot backs. They're really speedy wide receivers. Tough assignment, and he is playing a very aggressive game. And he's playing with a lot of, there's Mouse calling again, a lot of intensity. Something 61.
Okay, tell us what that is, Marv. You read lips. And
that's 61.
Of course, you know, it's amazing. With all the other coaches, they go through these third base coaching signals to get the information into their quarterback. Mouse just yells it out across the field. Go to the right corner of the end zone. Galliano to Gerhardt. Gerhardt heading to the goal line. He's out of bounds at the 3. Gary Plummer there to run out Todd Gerhardt, but it'll be goal to go for the Denver Gold at the 3 of Oakland.
You know, when everybody plays nickel defense against the run and shoot, they have everybody covered except really the fullback. Fullback looks like he's going to block, so the man responsible for him forgets him, then he slips out in the flat, and he's the guy that's always open against nickel. Now, they won't go to any goal line offense down here. They won't bring in those big tackles to play in. They'll have those 4 wide receivers spread out all over the place, and defensively, you got to spread out with them.
Well, they certainly couldn't go to tight ends because they don't have any on the roster. In motion is Stiegel. Goal to go. First down from the Oakland 3 for the Denver Gold. Galliano will take it in himself, or try to anyway. He is bottled up at about the 1-yard line by the Oakland Invaders. Gary Plummer, the 3-year pro from the University of California. Plummer was a nose tackle, a nose guard at Cal, and he was the Bears' MVP as a junior at Berkeley.
Second down, goal to go.
Look at that. 10 points in the second half in the last 4 games. Will that hold up right now? They're right down there, 1 yard away from giving up 6 more anyway.
Goal to go. And a long one on second down for Galliano, lofting the end zone. Touchdown, Denver Gold. The pass caught by Brad Caleb, his first touchdown of the season for Galliano. His 10th touchdown toss.
We're flooding that side. You saw the man in motion go to the left of the screen. Galliano sprinting left with Gerhardt blocking for him. Just 3 steps. No, somebody got mixed up. No one has Caleb on the man-to-man coverage, and he's left all alone. Snipes blitzing. Gerhardt makes the block on him, which helps, and the defense picked each other off in close quarters down that end zone. Easy touchdown for Brad Caleb, who was a college quarterback who rushed and passed for over 1,000 yards in his senior year.
6:52 to play. 2-point try here by the Denver Gold. Tossed into the end zone, broken up at the last minute. Defensive play made by Vito McKeever, intended for Brad Caleb. So we have 6:52 to go in this football game. Oakland leading Denver 31-16. Now the Gold just missing the 2-point try. Marv Levy, you've been second-guessed in your illustrious coaching career. I'm going to give you a chance to second-guess Mouse Davis. Would you have gone for 2 in that situation?
I was surprised that he did. The percentage of making it is less than 50%. True, if he makes it, he's only down by 13 and 2 converted touchdowns win. But if he doesn't, he's down now by more than 2 converted touchdowns and has to do something special. If you're going to go for 2 in that situation, in that particular situation, I would think it would be more likely to do it off of a fake PAT where there is a real element of surprise. That's my thoughts on it. I realize he can go for 2 and try to make it up, but he's down by 15 now instead of 14.
What about an onside kick here? You have 6:52 to play.
I don't think I would. I think I try and kick deep, even though I haven't been playing good defense. You've got a good defense. There's enough time if you stop Oakland to score. If you score again, then it's time for an onside kick.
Well, Asmus has it teed up.
Excuse me, Fred, he's got an overload of people over there indicating onside kick, a heavy overload, and he does it.
The ball bouncing around. It's picked up by the Denver Gold. After hitting an Oakland player, Denver comes up with a football at their own 49-yard line. It looks like the man who caught the touchdown pass, Brad Caleb, came up with a football.
Well, it's plain to see that Mouse doesn't have his headset tuned into the booth here. All right, here's the replay. An Oakland man almost had the ball, but it went through. Another Oakland man almost had the ball. It's a play which follows suit with what he did before. An element of risk. It's paying off here, and they certainly are back in the ball game. Contrary to what I would have done on the play, he went ahead and did it and succeeded. More credit to him. And it certainly picks up his club.
1st and 10 for the Gold at their own 48-yard line. In motion is Stiegel. Galliano to throw. Going long. Downfield is Stiegel. He beats Sullivan, but can't hold on to the football. Sullivan and Stiegel, a pushing match down there.
They were both pushing each other around. The ball was right in there again. Galliano throwing under a great deal of pressure. Here we see it coming down after the pushing had taken place, about 10 yards or so upfield. Stiegel had it right in his face mask. There you see the shoving and jostling, but legitimate efforts to get the ball. He had that ball and would have been way down there in scoring territory. Plenty of time left to score twice. It's a matter of what you do with the two-pointers afterwards. And if they make two two-pointers, they can still win the game.
Now there's a gentleman who bobbled that football, Gil Stiegel. 2nd and 10. Stiegel now in motion. Galliano looking down, wide open is number 88, gone downfield, Lewis. The pass is thrown, incomplete, however, intended again for Stiegel. John Sullivan defending. I was watching Mark Lewis running down the center of the field. He was wide open for a while.
He was wide open. Number 7, Daryl Hart, who's been injured, is in the game now. He's with him right in the middle of your screen. Lewis with a 3 or 4 yard lead on him. But Galliano going to the outside man, working on Sullivan again. They keep working on Sullivan, trying to get that safety man covering speedy wide receivers, and it's a variety of wide receivers. This guy has to be a fantastically conditioned athlete. He's giving it just a great effort, despite some of the hardships he's having tonight.
Now, Sullivan last year for the Oakland Invaders was a special teams member, one of those suicide squad players. And he came in on pass situations, and he's seen a lot of passes come his way tonight. 3rd and 10. Galliano lofts it again. Incomplete. McKeever had a better shot at it than the intended receiver.
Well, it surprises me that they tried to go deep 3 times. I think it surprised Mouse, too. I think it surprised Mouse. They just threw 3 bombs after recovering that onside kick in very good field position where they could have moved down there. They're faced with a 4th and 10, probably going to go with it. Daryl Hart seeing some action, number 7. Now, he was beaten, we saw a play or two ago.
And there's Mouse with his secret play calling.
He's covering, that's the cross hand, cover your mouth. Maybe it's how he holds his hands or something. There's a signal, and what he's voicing means nothing.
There's the time remaining in the football game. 4th and 10 for the Denver Gold from their own 48-yard line. Stiegel again in motion. Downfield, pass complete, 1st down for the Denver Gold at the 34-yard line. Mark Lewis, the key reception. David Shaw, the defender. 1st down for the Gold. But there's a flag back at the 41-yard line.
Here we see secondary dropping deep here. He's thrown deep enough to get them thinking deep. He drills the ball.
Number 74.
Ball in, however, a penalty for holding on Mike Neese, the right guard. Really hurts. 4th and 20. I know what that call was by Mouse, and it wasn't very pleasant. He's really disturbed, and I don't blame him.
It was a call to the man upstairs to come through with the prayer. Well, Galliano, who apparently had the 1st down with the strike before he had the call for the holding against Mike Neese, will try again. This time he has it 4th and 20 from his own 38.
This is a no blitz situation. Rush 4 and everybody else cover.
Still pressure coming to Galliano. He escapes Monty Bennett, fires downfield. The pass complete for the 1st down at the 41-yard line.
Well, now they're squabbling that it wasn't. It's going to be close, even if it was complete.
It looked like Lonnie Turner made the reception at the 41, but then the official will have the call as to where he marks the football. Turner is down flat on his back at the 42-yard line. And the Oakland Invaders are doing some kind of hitting tonight because they've had a number of the black jersey Denver Gold on their backs this evening.
Yes, they have, Fred, and I tell you, the way Bob Galliano is standing up in there tonight against that rush is amazing. He's thrown with people near him, hitting him, about to hit him, threatening to hit him.
Monty Bennett had a great shot at Galliano before Galliano fired up for the pass, and still they have not marked the football. Yes, they have. They're marking it right now, and it looks like it's going to be a first down for the Denver Gold with 5:12 to play in the football game. The ball will be at the 42-yard line of the Oakland Invaders. But still, Lonnie Turner down for the Denver Gold.
It's going to be very close. They're going to have to measure this, I'm sure. Both teams are... Either team that is told it has gone against them is going to request a measurement, I'm sure.
Still, Lonnie Turner being worked on. Let's watch it here.
Galliano sprinting to the right, giving his people time to get deep. Just a four-man rush, but as you said, Monty Bennett getting close. Galliano throwing off balance, winging it downfield to Calvin Turner. He's hit very hard in there in a closing tackle. Again, no, it's not Snipes. That's number 58, David Shaw, who had come in there. I guess they're looking for it for the spot, but you can't do that for a first down. Again, Galliano, just as he delivers the ball, Lonnie Turner grabbing the ball, and here's the interpretation. What's the interpretation?
I couldn't hear it. They gave the official was talking, and I just could not hear it. And Charlie Sumner loses a timeout taken away from the Oakland Invaders, and it's a first down for the Denver Gold. So a bit of confusion as to why that was even called for. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Denver Gold with 5:02 to play in the football game. Caleb, the man in motion. Galliano fires out there, incomplete. Intended for Stiegel, thrown behind him.
Stiegel was open. They were switching off on man-to-man coverage. Oliver Davis had him, but he was switching a little bit too late because Galliano delivered it quickly, however, not accurately under pressure. He's angry with himself, as you can see, about it, and Mouse isn't too happy either.
Of course, the incompletion stops the clock. 4:51 to play. Here at Mile High Stadium in Denver, this is for first place in the West. The Denver Gold trailing the Oakland Invaders by just a half game at the start of tonight's play. Caleb again in motion to the top of your screen. The pressure coming. Galliano will not escape it this time. Angelo Snipes in like lightning, twisting Galliano to the ground at the 35-yard line. And Galliano seems to be in pain at that 35.
There are a lot of them that came. Bob starting again to sprint out on this play. They're bringing a load of linebackers. By the time he wanted to throw back.
There's Snipes wrapping him up.
Snipes wraps him up. He's right there. Reuben Vaughn really made the play initially. Galliano's head was under him there, and I certainly hope he didn't injure his neck on that play.
Now Bob Galliano got up, went off to the sideline, replaced at quarterback for the Denver Gold by Vince Evans. And Galliano, a disheartened young man next to Mouse Davis there. Vince Evans, who had a horrendous game against the Oakland Invaders to start the season. 14 completions, 45 attempts, 3 interceptions.
Last time Vince came in, however, he pulled a game out for the Denver Gold. They pulled off a 4th and 20 a little while ago. They're tempting fate again. They have a 3rd and 28 in this situation. Vince certainly has the arm to pick this up. And I look for him to throw something deep over the middle. Threaten deep and try and hit the middle on this.
Well, we get word now from the officials that the red flag was thrown earlier because Charlie Sumner was questioning on that first down call whether the reception was actually made. And the official said, yes, it was a reception and a first down. So the Oakland Invaders do lose the timeout. Vince Evans with Caleb in motion. They trail 31-16 to the goal. Evans rifles the ball off the hands of the intended receiver. That was Stiegel out there. And again, pressure heavy on the quarterback of the Denver Gold, Vince Evans. Vince Evans, of course, a standout career at the University of Southern California. Great size, 6'2", 211 pounds, a rifle arm.
As strong an arm as I've seen.
So Bob Galliano finishes the night, apparently, completing 50% of his passes. Good total yardage. However, not very good on the scoreboard as the Denver Gold trail by 15. 4th and long, and I do mean long. Evans downfield with a rifle, a bullet. The pass caught for Bobby Hebert here. You wouldn't be surprised to see Sullivan stay on the bench the rest of the night. John Williams in motion, straight up. Bentley, very little gain as Stan Blinka is there. Albert Bentley last year with the Michigan Panthers, the backup for Kenny Lacy. Lacy, of course, signed with the Kansas City Chiefs of the NFL, and now a timeout is called by the Denver Gold with 3:31 to play. The home folks starting to leave here at the Mile High Stadium as their Gold trail 31-16. Well, the medical report for the Denver Gold, Lonnie Turner, a shoulder. Very unlikely that he'll return. Rib problem for Galliano, their quarterback. He may return to the football game. Oakland leading 31-16 over the Denver Gold. 3:31 to play. Bobby Hebert on a 2nd and 8 on his own 35 will put it in the air. Hebert looking to Carter. He has Anthony for the first down. Good move by Carter to stay inbounds. Following the reception, he has the first down for the Oakland Invaders. Now, something has been missing tonight for the Denver D. It's been a problem trying to contain this Oakland Invaders football team. Look at that.
464 yards. That's a bunch that they've given up. This has been the best defensive team over the past several weeks. They certainly weren't tonight. And I'll tell you, you can talk about run and shoot. You can talk about the San Francisco 49ers offense. You can talk about the Tampa Bay Bandit ball. If you don't play defense, you aren't going to win the games that count that mean champions.
We're heading down to the 2-minute warning in this football game. That's Williams coming in motion, giving the block to Bentley. Bentley trying to fight for the 44-yard line where he would get the first down, is stopped at the 45. Bruce Thornton and Mike McKibben combined to stop him for the Denver Gold. We have 2:20 to play in this football game, and it will be a 2nd down now. Check that, a 3rd down and about 1. We'll call it 3rd and a long 1 for Charlie Sumner's Oakland Invaders.
They're going to let it run down to the 2 minutes if Denver lets them do it, and apparently they are conserving their timeouts.
2 minutes to go in the football game. The Oakland Invaders just wanting that clock to run down. They have it 3rd and 1 at the 44 of the Denver Gold. They have a 31-16 lead. Bobby Hebert, an excellent night tonight. He threw 4 touchdowns in the first game against Denver. Some action in the line. Flag down as John Williams leaps over the line of scrimmage. Craig Walls to make the stop, but there was action on the left side of the defensive line for the Denver Gold.
Like the defensive left end or left linebacker.
Offside, defense. That's the first down.
That's exactly what you didn't want to have happen if you're a Denver Gold fan. Give them the first down on the penalty.
Yeah, it was voice inflection or eagerness on the defensive part.
Mouse Davis's eyes, they're as big as silver dollars. Now, Mouse a little more calm, surprisingly.
Well, it's tough. He's fired up. It was a big game. His team has been playing well. He's got a lot of spirit. He's been a good leader for this team, and he's feeling it. He's feeling the emotion of it and has to give vent to it.
Charlie Sumner gave his team a great pep talk before the ball game. At the team meeting, he walked in. Everybody was anticipating this Vince Lombardi speech. He said, if you can't get up for this one, you can't get up for anyone. And then he walked out.
It's as good as any of them. It's how they play. You're not going to all of a sudden say something right before the game that's going to make a difference. How you prepared makes a difference.
Tommy Newton straight up. Clock down to 1:50 to go in the football game. It's a timeout called by the Denver Gold. Bobby Hebert. Again, the doubts remain as to whether this young man will be in the USFL come next year, or whether, as rumor persists, that he has already signed a contract with the Los Angeles Raiders.
Well, one thing for sure, rumors persist in around football, certainly, and everything else, and the rumors will continue to fly.
Of course, Charlie Sumner, the head coach of the Oakland Invaders, handles his quarterbacking situation when everybody says, who's your #1 quarterback? Is it Hebert or is it Freddie Bassana? He handles it very gracefully and says, Hebert is my #1 quarterback, and smile. Under a minute to go in the football game now. You see that. Hebert just needing those 17 yards. He won't get them tonight unless something dramatic happens. But next game, Bobby Hebert will cross that plateau. They're just going to protect the football. Hebert goes down on one knee with 36 seconds to play, and that's the football game here in Denver. Oh, it's clock stop with 27 seconds, but I don't think we're going to get another playoff as both benches are emptying out onto the field. Miles Davis coming over to shake hands with Charlie Sumner, the man in the white sweater, the victorious coach, the Denver Gold, losing tonight to stop a 3-game winning streak. However, the Oakland Invaders win their 6th in a row, increase their lead to a game and a half in the West, 31-16 over the Gold.